Never in my life did I think I'd be this happy to talk about PSG winning a game, but that was amazing, bro. I am super happy right now. I am so happy. That was an unbelievable hate watch. That is a generational hate watch. Thank you, PSG. Thank you, Luis Enrique, for giving me this joy. Thank you. This is the type of hate watch that rivals watching your own team win a game. The only time I'm ever this happy filming a video is when I'm talking about Barca winning a game. But Barca, as we know, didn't play today because Barca did not qualify for this Club World Cup. We just happened to watch our biggest rivals lose in the semifinals of this tournament, and I enjoyed every single second of that game. Like, my eyes were glued to the screen for the whole 90 minutes. So again, thank you to Luis Enrique and thank you to PSG. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. With all the stuff that happened these past few days between Barca and Nico Williams and that deal falling through, this is exactly what I needed to put me in a good mood once again. And oh boy, am I in a great mood. That was amazing, that was sublime, that was fabulous, that was majestic, that was stupendous, that was orgasmic. Pick any adjective you want to describe that game. I don't care. I don't care. But in all seriousness, man, that was kind of embarrassing from Real Madrid. Was that just like PSG now? Like, is that just the norm for PSG? They just dominate every team. 4-0 against Real Madrid at MetLife Stadium in the Club World Cup semifinal. They're obviously going to play in the Club World Cup final against Chelsea this Sunday. And a game that was an away game for them, bro. That was a home game for Real Madrid. I understand it's a neutral site because they're playing in New York City, not in Madrid. But still, bro, like that stadium was packed with white jerseys. And that's normal because Real Madrid have the most global fan base on earth out of any sports team. They could be playing in, I don't know, North Sentinel Island. They're going to find a way to have fans there at the stadium. But for PSG to do that, this PSG team never ceases to amaze me, man. They never cease to amaze me. Like, this is, to me, Lucho's masterpiece, this team. And I understand that he won the treble with MSN. He also won the treble with this team. Like, if Lucho was Kendrick Lamar, this is his Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. If he was Kanye West, this is his Runaway. If he was Da Vinci, this is his Mona Lisa, bro. This is, like, the way this team plays, it's ridiculous, bro. They're going to go down as one of the best teams of all time when they eventually win this tournament on Sunday. I'm not looking past Chelsea. I think Chelsea have had a great tournament so far, but this PSG team is going to win. And when they do, we got to have a conversation about them being one of the best teams of all time because they've earned that. They've earned to be in that conversation. Like, from the get-go today, they were shooting on goal. They were forcing Courtois to make all these insane saves. It was crazy, bro. You would not believe this PSG team played every single game possible this past season. They won a treble, bro. So they were in contention for every trophy. I understand Ligue 1 was won by basically November. So take Ligue 1 out of it, okay? Because that's never a competitive league. But they played the final of the Coupe de France. They played the final of the UCL. They played the playoff of the UCL. So they played 2 extra games in the UCL. Some of their players played in the Nations League. So this team, bro, like, you would think fatigue would catch up to them at some point. But no, they're just running all over the pitch. Like I said, like 2 minutes into the game, Courtois made a save. made a save on a Fabian Ruiz shot, and then he made a save on an Ousmane Dembélé shot, which I cannot believe how Courtois made that save. Courtois also never ceases to amaze me. I'll talk about him later in this video, but he's just ridiculous. But you could tell PSG were out for blood from the start. They were hunting, man. They were out there to kill, and they did it. And then the first goal comes courtesy of Fabian Ruiz from an Asensio mistake, a terrible mistake from Raúl Asensio, who's having a terrible tournament. He had a terrible Club World Cup. There's really no other way to put it. A guy who I actually thought was, Madrid's best center back this past season. I don't actually think he was Madrid's best center back this past season. In these games that he played in the Club World Cup, he really, maybe the lights were too bright for him, but that touch that he takes on that play is, what are you doing? He takes a heavy touch and then he stays there looking at the ball, and then Dembélé gets it and he gets fouled by Courtois. That would have been a pen if Fabian Ruiz wasn't converted. But anyway, the rebound falls to Fabian Ruiz and he puts it into the back of the net, an empty net, and that was 1-0 from PSG. A couple minutes later, Rudiger makes a mistake. Their other center back makes a mistake. He tries to play the ball out and then hits off his other foot, and then Dembélé is 1-on-1 with Courtois and a beautiful finish with his left foot to the far post. And that was 2-0. And then, of course, the 3-0 comes courtesy of that counterattack. The first 2 goals were a mistake. That counterattack was not a mistake. That was one of the most beautiful counterattacks I've ever seen. That counterattack reminded me of Argentina's counterattack against France in the 2022 World Cup final. We know that play, Julian Alvarez to Messi to Julian Alvarez to Di Maria. Like, that was ridiculous, man. Dembélé to Hakimi to Fabian Ruiz with a beautiful finish. It was so efficient. It was so quick. The way they got out of their own half in 2 touches, and then they were through on goal. Beautiful football from PSG. That first half was a masterclass from PSG. And that first half from Madrid, they were non-existent, man. They were truly non-existent. They were truly non-existent. Fran Garcia was getting cooked by Desiree Doué. I don't think Doué had the best game. He took a bunch of heavy touches, but he was getting cooked on the right-hand side. It seemed like every PSG attack was coming down the right-hand side. But with PSG, bro, you can't ever relax because on the left-hand side, you have Kawara, who, I mean, this guy, he got bought by PSG in January. Any team could have had this guy, and they got him. And look at the impact he's made on that team since he's been there. He was pivotal in their UCL run. He's been great for them so far in this Club World Cup. It's crazy, bro. It's honestly insane. And for Madrid, I mean, when you look at this Madrid team, right? Let's look at their past season. Who are their best players this past season? Who are the players that, when you look at Madrid, who are the players that you can always count on to drop a great performance? Asensio, last season, he almost always had good games. This season, this Club World Cup, not so much. So take Asensio out of it. Fede Valverde and Thibaut Courtois. And today, to me, they were their two best players. Those two guys are the backbone of Real Madrid. Maybe not their best players, but they're the backbone of Real Madrid. You could say Mbappe is better, you could say Vini's better, you could say Bellingham is better. That's fine. I wouldn't disagree with that, by the way. But Fede Valverde and Courtois, they are, I mean, bro, these guys never play bad. And today they didn't play bad. Fede was so frustrated today because he wasn't getting any help. And I think that, obviously, Trent picked up a knock coming into the game, so he couldn't play. And that forced Xabi Alonso to move Fede to right back. And Fede, dude, he's been so good at this Club World Cup because he's been playing midfield. And when he's in the midfield and he's involved in basically every single action, that's where he makes the best impact on the game. Because whenever Fede Valverde has the ball at his feet, he's going to make something happen. He may not be the most technically gifted player. He's not Xavi or Iniesta or Modric on the ball, but this guy makes shit happen. And when you put him at right back, he can't make that same impact because obviously he's going to be further away from the ball. So I think that obviously fucked over Real Madrid, not having Fede Valverde in the midfield and not having Trent, who, like I said, picked up a knock before the game in training. You're also missing Dean Huijsen. You know, and PSG were missing William Pacho, so both teams were missing their best center backs, two young studs, two of the best young center backs in Europe. I would say Pacho, Huijsen, and Cubarsí are the three best young center backs in football. And Madrid are missing Huijsen, who you could argue has been their best player at this tournament so far. Gonzalo Garcia has been great. Fede has been great. Courtois has been great. But then Huijsen has been, he's been one of the revelations of this tournament. Like, we're looking at this guy and thinking Madrid got a bargain for this guy. And obviously, they're going to have him for the season, so it's fine. But they were missing him today because I don't think the scoreline is 4-0 with Dean Huijsen playing. I just don't believe it because he's not making those mistakes that Asensio's making or that Rudiger's making. So that hurt Real Madrid a lot. The fact that Huijsen wasn't available and then you had to scramble when Trent got hurt, it fucked them over. But still, man, when I look at this Madrid team, like I look at PSG, right? And I see Kawara always coming back, always tracking back and trying to win the ball back. I see Dembélé tracking back and trying to win the ball back. Do it. All their players, man, they press so well. They're a cohesive unit. And I look at this Madrid team and I see a lot of the same things that I was seeing last season under Ancelotti. Now they're better. I think they're going to be better this season than last season, but Mbappe is not pressing. Vini, what the fuck happened to Vini, man? He's going to get a lot of hate for this game, and he's been heavily scrutinized by Madrid fans since, you know, January or December because his play has not been great, and he deserves it today, man. He really does deserve it today. I've been a Vini defender, man. I really have because I think he's a great player, and I don't believe that this is going to be his form for the rest of his career. But man, every game that goes by, I'm watching him and I'm thinking, what happened to that Vini that we saw last season? What happened to the Vini that we saw the year before? Where is this Vinicius Jr. that should have won the Ballon d'Or in my opinion? Where is he? I don't see him, bro. He seems to always be complaining on the pitch. His attitude is shit. I don't think him and Mbappe work, man. That game, I think Xabi Alonso should have played Mbappe on the left, Gonzalo Garcia in the middle, and then Rodrigo on the right. I think that would have been a better lineup because I don't think Vini and Mbappe can coexist. I really don't think they can coexist. They both walk on the pitch all the time. It's just they don't show the best attitude, and you know it just wasn't great. But like I said, PSG, I mean, it's ridiculous, bro. Even in the second half, I think Madrid actually had a better second half than obviously the first half because it's kind of impossible to play worse than they did in the first half. But even PSG, man, you look at their second half and they were kind of just putting it in cruise control and they still found a way to score a fourth goal. So again, this PSG team never ceases to amaze me. This Madrid team, man, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. You guys they need another center back. They need to add more depth to this team because you went trophyless last year. I mean, Trent and Mastantuono and a new coach, yeah, they can put some makeup on it, but the core issues of this team are still there. You know what I mean? Like, they got outrun in that midfield today. I don't think Jude was terrible. I actually think he was one of the few players trying because Jude's always trying. But the way that Vitinha, Neves, and Fabian Ruiz they ran them ragged, bro. They really did. And you see Luka Modric come into the game, and you see, and Luka is older, right? He's gonna go to Milan, but the second he came into the game, it changed. And honestly, the second that Vini left the game, it changed. So, I don't know, man. This team still has a lot of issues that they need to fix. I think this game would have been different if Huijsen would have played, but, I mean, it's 4-0, and you're playing against PSG. PSG did this to Atletico Madrid. They did it against Inter Miami. They beat Bayern Munich with 9 men. They scored the second goal with 9 men in that game. This PSG team is different. They are different. They will be in the conversation for one of the best teams of all time. They really will. Because the way that they continue to play and the way that they continue to show that it wasn't a fluke that they won the UCL. They did it to Inter too. I forgot to mention the UCL final, but I'm talking about in the Club World Cup specifically. They do it to every team, man. They really do it to every team. So it's a disappointing end to the tournament for Real Madrid. I think they actually had a really, really good tournament up until this point, beating Dortmund. I know that game got close at the end, but they beat Dortmund. The way they played, obviously, in the group stages, I thought they showed signs of life and they showed signs of a new era under Xabi Alonso. But when you see this, man, it's kind of, I understand that it might be hard for Madrid fans to be optimistic about next season. But, you know, you're probably going to make some more signings. But I do think that Vini needs to get his shit together. And I think that Mbappe, you know, he's letting his hair grow, which I think actually looks kind of cool. I don't even know why I mentioned that, but he's letting his hair grow, which I think it looks kind of cool. But I think Mbappe also needs to do a little bit better of tracking back and actually showing some effort, because a lot of times it seems like he's just walking on the pitch and he seems like it feels like he thinks he's too good for this, man. Like sometimes it just feels like he thinks he's too good for this shit. And look, I'm not a huge fan of blaming your best players for your team's biggest issues. And I think Mbappe last season in the second half of the year was probably one of Madrid's best players. So I don't want to put all the blame on him, but he's got to be doing more. And it must hurt if you're Mbappe, man. It can't be easy to see Ousmane Dembélé do this, man. Like, he's going to win the Ballon d'Or now. It's cemented. He's going to win the Ballon d'Or, and rightfully so, by the way. He should win it. He was the best player on the team that won the treble and might win 4 trophies. So he should win the Ballon d'Or. But it can't be easy being Kylian Mbappe and seeing that guy who was like your little brother. You know, you guys came up together. You guys were both like these young French superstars, and now you see him doing what he's doing with your old club. He was able to win the UCL for them, something you were never able to do. I mean, it's got to be difficult, but yeah, man, PSG, they never cease to amaze me. The way that they play football is beautiful. I'm happy for Lucho, man, because if there's somebody that deserves to have this feeling as him. Did you see the way he was celebrating every goal? It was beautiful to watch. He has this team playing at a different level. And yeah, for Madrid, man, it's tough. Obviously, this is a good preseason, though, man. You're playing in a preseason that's actually competitive. So, you know, it's not like a normal preseason. You're not playing against, I don't know, Vissel Kobe or something in Malaysia. You're playing against good teams in important games. So this is a good way to kind of let Xabi Alonso know who he can and can't trust. I think that's going to be important going into next season. But like I said, this team needs a lot of changes still. It was evident today. We saw the holes in this lineup defensively and in the midfield. I don't think the attack was the biggest issue today. But again, how many chances did they create? I can't think of many off the top of my head. I can't think of many Madrid chances where I was like, oh my God, they got close to scoring a goal. It was mostly just PSG. And again, after the third goal, they put it in cruise control. So congrats to PSG. Again, as you guys know, if you watch this channel, I'm not the biggest PSG fan, but to watch them win this game, it actually made me very happy. And yeah, man, for the best graphic tees in the game, check out the final thread, the description. The link is in the description down below. I just want to say this also, by the way, if you stayed until this point in the video, I know that if you stayed until this point, you're probably like a real, like you really fuck with my content. I just want to say this, man. I talk about my brand because it's something that I created, but I never want, like, here's the thing, bro. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm the second coming of Christ or I'm the greatest human being on earth. I just want to say this, and I'll be brief, I promise. The video's about to end. I promise you, I'll just say this and then I'll end the video. I never want my relationship with my viewers to feel transactional. So whenever I talk about my brand, I almost feel like I don't know, it feels odd to me because I never want you guys to think that I just put so much effort into creating this community just so I could sell you guys some shit, because that's really not me at all. And it feels odd, but again, it's my due diligence as a guy who, you know, this is my shit. So if I have an audience, I might as well just talk about it with you guys. And if you guys like it, you can buy it. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. It's my job to promote it. You know what I mean? So I feel bad sometimes promoting it, even though I don't feel that bad. Like, it feels awkward for me sometimes, but it's also my duty. So again, I never want people to feel that I'm like, I don't know. I just don't ever want this to feel transactional. I feel like that's not the best way to run a channel, and especially what I'm trying to do here. But yeah, man, anyway, my point is, I appreciate you guys. Check out the link in the description for thefinalthread.com. We're going to be coming up with more designs, a really cool design that I have coming up. So you guys, you can also follow us on Instagram at The Final Thread Official if you want to be updated for any new designs that come out. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much for the support. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.